welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about my son who's in the 4th grade, 9 years old. We're going to talk about his curriculum that we use for world history, geography, African American history, and science. He learns world history, geography, and science in school. As you know from prior videos, he is enrolled in public school full-time, so these are absolutely used as resources. We don't spend a lot of time in world history, geography, or science. If we do, they're projects, unit studies, hands-on, read-alouds. So that's what we do at home when it comes to those particular topics, because I think he gets what he needs at school for those. So in terms of world history, I use the Story of the World. It also comes with some workbooks. I have Ancient Times and I have the Middle Ages. I do not have the others because I don't think it's necessary for the way I homeschool, or the way we homeschool. So when it comes to the Story of the World, we will use these as read-alouds. So we will read the various stories, and depending on the topic, we'll do a unit study or a project or some type of file folder where we put interesting facts and drawings and things of that nature. So that's how we use the Story of the World. Very hands-on unit studies. And for comprehension, I will ask some of these questions and see if he is remembering what we just read. But I don't test him on it. I don't do any formal curriculum for world history. For geography, this book, and let me go back to this. This can be used for any grade level. We're going to use this from preschool all the way through the end of middle school, probably. And again, it's very hands-on, that's why. For maps and geography, we utilize this book. He does not write in the book. I make photocopies of what I want him to do. But for geography, we focus on mapping skills, longitude, latitude, or grid maps, U.S. geography, and global geography. And when I talk about global geography, our focus is on Africa. And I also have one of these on Haiti. Because those are the two areas that I am most interested in because of my culture and background. So we go into in-depth studies on those two areas. And also I print out and laminate maps. And I normally print out 4 to 6 for each. So I do one for the United States, one for Haiti, and one for Africa. And then we put them together. It's like a puzzle. I put the puzzle number in the back so I can remember how to do it. But we put them together, and then we focus on a particular area, and we'll color it, we'll label them, we'll map it, and things of that nature. So that's what we do for geography. Also for geography, I have this game and I have another game that I don't have in the room right now, but this is going to help him help him memorize the U.S. states and the capitals. In the 5th grade here in Texas, they are required to know all the states and all the capitals. So this is a game that we'll play starting this summer. This is just a basic flashcards of the state in the front and the capital in the back, and it also has countries. So I thought that was really cool. So we'll also look at all of the countries, and we'll know the country name, and we'll also look at the capitals for each of those. And then this one is the same thing, but its only focus is on the United States geography, and it also goes in detail and provides the region for every state. And it also tells you when they were colonized and the original 13 colonies, and gives you some fun facts about each of the states in the United States. And this here, I did not open it yet, but we'll do that in the 5th grade. And this is just going to be on the wall. I'll laminate it. And this is going to go along with our blank map of the United States. So he'll do this. And if I tell him, where is Florida? He'll find Florida. This is a map of Africa, by the way. So he'll find Florida, and then we'll go to this map and we'll see if he got it right. I also have a big globe that we also use for geography. So that is our world history, and that is our geography. Of course, we will use our local library when we talk about different topics. When it comes to government, in the state of Texas, they're required to learn all the presidents and 2 facts about those presidents, to include this information here in the back: how many terms they served, their party affiliation, and things of that nature. So this will help him learn this summer, so he goes into the 5th grade knowing that stuff already. This is a great resource. I actually kept this book from college. I had this book in college, and I thought it was really cool. And I said, you know what, if I ever have children, I'm going to share this with them. And here we are. So this just goes through, and this is the school I went to. I went to Florida A&M University, and this is the teacher that I had here. So they wrote the book. So this just goes through the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and all these other topics that you see here. And I'm probably going to add the inaugural address from President Barack Obama to this book as well. But it'll provide a background, and it's not biased. They don't use their own interpretation. It's basically just background information for each one, and it's followed up by a few questions. So we're going to use this book for United States government. This is also what we're going to use for the United States government, and we're going to use this book here. So far, all of these resources that you see for world history, government, and geography, all this stuff is multiple grades, multiple grade levels. And when I do these subjects, I specifically look for resources and supplements and curriculum, if you call this curriculum, that can be utilized for multiple ages and multiple grade levels. So next, let's go and let's look at the resources that I have for African American or Afro or Black history, however you want to call it. African American history, Black history, Afro history, whatever you want to call it. Here are the resources that I use. This is more of world history, so I'll put that in the other cubby. But for African American history, I also had this book in college, and I thought it was good, so I kept it. So we're going to use this book as well. This is the school that I went to. So again, it just gives historical information in a common sense way. There are lots of books that are like this, but this one I found interesting. This one I think provides historical information, and at the end it may provide okay, no, it doesn't provide an opinion or commentary. So it provides information, and then it gives you some questions to think about. This right here is probably going to be used more in middle school than in elementary school. This here, I haven't opened it yet, but I have heard great reviews on this. So this is something we're going to start diving into in the 5th grade all the way through middle school. I would have dived into this in the 4th grade, but that wasn't a focal point for me in the 4th grade, going into grave detail about African American history. We focused more on the surface, but at the end of 4th grade in the summer, going into 5th grade, we're going to dive into the history on a completely different level. The surface stuff we've done, they do in the public school system. Yeah, we're going to surpass surface beginning now since he's going to 5th grade. This is another little book that I found on Africa. This here is excellent. This is excellent. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this series. John Lewis created a 3-part series in a comic book form of what happened to him and what he saw and heard and experienced during the civil rights movement. Any child would love this. I think this is excellent. Depending on the age level, because some things are a little graphic. Not graphic. I mean, kids have seen and heard worse on television and in the music that they listen to. But I will say this is age appropriate for grade 3 to read on their own. And I think grade 4 or 5 all the way through middle school, through high school, they will be able to dive into this and understand it and ask questions. So I would say from 4th grade and below, it'll be a great read aloud for you to do with them and ask them questions and see if they understand. And maybe in the 4th grade and beyond, they should be able to read this on their own and ask you questions on it. So this is great. And this is just some fun activities here. It's just some fun activities. And again, this is just some activities for kids. I would say elementary school, preschool age kids, this is really good for. And for this one, I would say elementary school kids. So this is specifically for elementary school. I was looking for a curriculum for African American Studies that was honest, that was not sugar-coated, and that dived in deep. And this is what I found. I think this is an excellent book. This is something that if you are doing African American Studies, Afro Studies, African American History, Black History, I think this is a really good book to have. It starts from the journey. Another reason why I really love this book is because it starts the African American history and journey prior to slavery. African American history, Afro Studies, did not begin with slavery. There was so much more that took place before that event took place. And this book dives into that. It talks about the rich legacy of African Americans, the ancestral bonds, the history of Africans, and their civilizations. And then it goes into how we were scattered to the West in the slave trade, about when we were brought here to the Americas, the resistance to enslavement, the various wars. Talks about free Africans, the Reconstruction years, turn of the century, civil rights. It just goes into detail. And this book, as you can see, these are much older or these are younger pictures of these persons. So this, of course, is an older book. It's the 2nd edition. I don't even know if they have a more recent edition. If they do, I probably would get that, only because it dives into historical events that took place after 2002. As you can see, this is 2002. So we have over a decade that is past, but excellent book. So next, let's go into science. For science, I have a lot of resources, and this is Basher books. I love Basher books. So this is technology, plant life, oceans, minerals and rocks, weather. I use these books as supplements to dive into various topics, okay? I also use Teachers Pay Teachers for a lot of my science material for the state of Texas, specifically for the STAR exam, which is in the 5th grade. So this is some Teachers Pay Teachers resources that I have purchased and printed out. Here is a book on astronomy here. And this is, I think is this Apologia? This is Apologia. So I like Apologia only because it gives you a Christian perspective on science. It doesn't focus on evolution. It is strictly creation. So I like that. Of course, in Texas, they don't really focus on evolution, although they don't talk about creation in the public school system. But again, they don't focus on evolution. They just give you the science behind things. Here's another book, which is very hands-on. This is STEM based for activities. This is another book. I think this is Barron's. This is a really good book. I think it's Barron's. Yeah. Published by Barron Builders. So I really like this book. Again, this is a Christian perspective on science. So this does link to the Bible. They have scriptures in here, and it goes into detail from the first day of creation, and then it goes to the 2nd day, 3rd day, all the way through the 7th day of creation, and many, many fun activities in here. Here's another book on weather. This is another STAR Texas state test that curriculum that I purchased in preparation for the 5th grade. So this is the test they will take in the 5th grade, and this is what we will go through during his 5th grade year for science. This is basically his main science curriculum at home. And these are just some resources, questions and answers for space, for planet Earth, questions and answers for science. He loves this book. So when we talk about bugs, we kind of look at the bug that we're talking about and go in a little bit more detail about it. And of course, this can be used for all ages here. Now to the human body. For the human body, we have completed this book here. So this is about nutrition. This is about the human body. This one we're going to continue using through the 5th grade. This one we're going to continue using through middle school. And again, this just focuses on circular system, muscular system, skeletal systems, respiratory systems, basically the various systems of the body and how it works. I use this book in conjunction with Human Body Detectives. This is a great curriculum. I really, really like this. This is hands-on, many activities. So I have all of them. Immune system, digestive system, circulatory system. This is the little printout that I had where he has to memorize each one of these systems and what they're, what they are, how they work. This here is also Human Body Detectives, and this is called Brainiacs. This is the nervous system. So I have some of them on PDF where I print. Well, I have all of them on PDF where I actually print them out. We go through the entire lesson. It only takes about a month. And then we cut out certain things to create whatever activity that I'm doing. So that's our science curriculum. So there you have it. You've seen our science. You've seen our world history. You've seen our African American history. And you have seen our government and geography. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you found some resources that you may be able to utilize in your homeschool journey. If you have any questions for me, or if you want to see a book in a little bit more detail, just put your question or comment in the link below, and I will do my best to go back and do a video for whatever it is that you're looking for. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, watch some other videos, and until I see you again, make it a great day.